Severe weather can strike at any time, and you can take steps now to help keep you and your family safe. The Storm Track 3 team looks back at the biggest local impacts over the last century. We've got you covered on how to be ready for the worst. Project Tornado starts right now.
Hello, I'm Chief Meteorologist Nick Housen. Living in this part of the country, severe weather is just part of life. It's not a matter of if severe weather will strike our region, it's just a matter of when. Here at News 3, we feel that education saves lives. We want you to plan and understand the science behind tornadoes, and knowing what to do when they form can be a matter of life and death.
Tornadoes can come in many shapes, sizes, and strengths. But what is a tornado? A tornado is a violent rotating column of air that stretches from the base of a thunderstorm to the ground. And there's something we're all too familiar with here at home. Tornadoes can occur during any month of the year and have been reported in all 50 states. However, the central part of the U.S. has been nicknamed Tornado Alley. This is where the warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico rises and collides with the cold, dry air from the Rocky Mountains. The two different air masses creates a prime environment for the formation of storms and tornadoes. While each storm system is unique, there are four main ingredients needed for a tornado to thrive. These can easily be remembered by using the acronym SLIM. S stands for shear or wind shear. Shear is the change of wind speed and/or direction with height. Shear is responsible for creating the rotation within the storm. L represents lift. This helps get the air rising. Lift is needed to get storms to form, but it can come in many different forms. Lift in our region is typically along a front or boundary. It can also come from the jet stream or an approaching area of low pressure. I is instability. One that you probably hear us mention often. Unstable air rises, eventually forming clouds. In order for a thunderstorm to form, the air must be able to rise freely. Last but not least, M stands for moisture. Moisture is essentially fuel for thunderstorms. Without it, clouds wouldn't be able to form. We track the moisture through dew points. The higher the dew point, the more moisture in the air. A 60-degree dew point is typically the threshold for severe weather. Once all of these ingredients come together, they can form a supercell thunderstorm. And if the rotation extends low enough, a tornado can form. The shear creates the rotation, and then the strong lift flips it vertically. After a tornado is formed, we can track it by looking for different distinguishing features using radar. When it comes to tornadoes, we look for a hook shape. An inflow of air into the storm creates the hook shape, indicating the strong rotation. With strong and violent tornadoes, a debris ball can also be seen within the hook. This is where objects are picked up and then thrown thousands of feet into the air. Another way to track rotation is by using the velocity. It can often give us a clearer picture by showing which way the wind is moving within the storm. The winds are depicted in reds and greens. Red is wind moving away from the radar, and green is wind moving towards the radar. Bright reds and greens next to each other signify strong rotation within the storm. While broadcast meteorologists track these storms to help keep you safe, the National Weather Service is responsible for issuing the official alerts. These then get sent out to your phones and your weather radios.
When it comes to severe weather, the National Weather Service may issue two different types of alerts, a watch and a warning. Knowing the difference is important to keep you and your family safe. I visited home of the tornadoes, Ziegler Royalton Elementary School, to speak to 3rd and 1st graders to help clear up any confusion between the two. They even provided some helpful advice.
I would probably just get under my desk. A warning is when there's actually something coming, and then a watch is if you don't know for sure if something's coming.
I asked them to see if they were interested in maybe getting a career in weather, but I think they're still on the fence.
You don't want to do the weather?
No way. I can probably.
There is an easy trick to help remember the crucial difference, and the answer is a cupcake. When a watch is issued, just think of the process of baking the cupcake. You'll need specific ingredients like flour, sugar, and butter. Tornadoes are the same way. You'll need some certain ingredients: instability, a change in wind speed, and moisture. When those are present, a tornado watch may be issued, meaning it's time to be weather aware, know your safety plan, and be prepared to act quickly. Now, the ingredients have been combined and the cupcakes have been baked. When they've been spotted and are ready to eat, a cupcake warning would be issued. A tornado warning means it's time to take action because a possible tornado is heading your way. It's either been spotted or radar indicated. Immediately take shelter and stay in your safe place until the warning is over. A safe place may look different for everyone depending on your home. A basement is the ideal place to go, but if you don't have one, an interior room without windows like a bathroom is a great choice. If you're able, try to wear a helmet and shoes to protect from debris. Mobile homes are not a safe place from tornadoes. Have a quick and safe plan to evacuate. If you're in a car and are threatened by the possibility of a tornado, seek shelter in a nearby building. Never a highway underpass. A last resort would be to seek shelter in a ditch. Having that safety plan in place with your loved ones is crucial when living in an area with constant severe weather.
Tornadoes are rated on a scale from 0 to 5, known as the Enhanced Fujita Scale, named after legendary University of Chicago meteorologist Ted Fujita. The scale was first introduced in 1971 and matches damage to wind speeds.
Even the weakest tornadoes produce strong enough winds to cause substantial damage. EF0 and EF1 tornadoes, which have wind speeds of 65 up to 110 miles per hour, make up a whopping 80% of all tornadoes on record. Check out this tornado we caught on camera back in 2012 in rural Jackson County. This photogenic tornado was an EF0, tracking mostly through a field. Very little damage was reported. Then there's this tornado that hit part of West Frankfort on December 5, 2021, an EF1, estimated to have winds of 95 miles per hour. It was enough to cause significant damage to a business, ripping the roof off and sending the sheet metal flying into the trees. Despite being deemed weak tornadoes, these often short-lived twisters are still something to take seriously. Still on the lower end, EF2 tornadoes make up around 14% of all tornadoes on record, with wind speeds of 111 up to 135 miles per hour. These tornadoes can cause considerable damage to buildings and other structures. This was damage from an EF2 tornado that hit Dealstadt, Missouri in June of 2012. The winds completely destroyed an occupied mobile home and unfortunately took the lives of 3 people. Classified as a strong tornado, an EF3 has winds from 136 to 165 miles per hour. Thankfully, these only make up about 4% of all twisters, but the damage is severe. The Brookport tornado in November 2013 was an EF3. Peak winds were 145 miles per hour, and 3 people were killed. Cars tossed, significant structural damage to homes and businesses, and mobile homes blown over 100 feet. EF4 tornadoes are even rarer, accounting for only around 1% of all tornadoes. Now, while rare, they are the ones we remember the most, usually long tracking with violent winds that can take entire homes off their foundation. Our region has had its fair share of these life-changing storms. From the night of May 6, 2003, 20 years ago this year, when an F4 ripped across parts of Pulaski, Massac, and Polk counties, killing 2 people and injuring 30. And Mayfield, just shy of being an EF5. It had estimated winds of 190 miles per hour and was one of the longest tracking tornadoes in history. After seeing the destruction from each one of these tornadoes, it's hard to believe the scale goes higher. Accounting for just 0.1% of all tornadoes are EF5s. Wind speeds of at least 200 miles per hour, where the bark is ripped off trees, the grass is torn from the ground, and even concrete foundations are heavily damaged. It has been nearly 10 years since the last EF5 tornado in the United States, occurring May 20th, 2013 in Moore, Oklahoma. How many tornadoes does the United States average per year? Answer after this break.